We on air? I believe we're on air. So yeah, I wanted to start off this live stream, not playing zombies, but doing just a tour of this world that I've been working on, along with a few other people for, oh boy, I don't know, this world goes way back. So, we start off, this was supposed to originally be a tree, but it ended up just becoming a watchtower. So you come down the water tower in the center. And we come out, and the first thing you notice is there are buildings everywhere, which is awesome. But I'm going to start where I started with this world, which is right here. This house, we took over this village, and I took the cleric's house, the church, and did nothing to it, other than just put storage in it and a bed up top. Forgot it does that to me. Whoops. My torch is on the ground. I can play. So, yeah. Next thing we built after that, we had a farm. Originally had some villagers up in there, and they were running around, creating iron golems and whatnot. Not entirely sure what happened to them. I think a zombie got in there and killed them all. Let's see. We're going project-wise. I think the mine's down there. There it goes down to your typical layer 14 or whatever, and just does a bunch of strip mines. Or branch mines. Attempted to build a mob spawner. Didn't really work too well. Mob grinder. It's supposed to be an ice cube tray up there for making ice. That was a failed waste of a couple hours. My little brother hopped in the world. He did a little weed farm. And let's see. I think shortly after that, yeah, the sugarcane and cactus farm that I redid recently. Updated with some of the newer blocks. The next house I made, Next house I made and moved into was back when a duplication bug was actually very prominent, and built a whole brick house, multiple levels. Yeah, chests. Supposed to be a bed up here, little balcony. Not too snazzy, or not too shabby, whatever. Downstairs, and then if we go down even farther, there is the first time back when they introduced the on a rail achievement. So that tunnel goes 500 blocks that way. That was a long process. I think it takes about 15 minutes to get to the other side on minecart rail. I was trying to follow a tutorial to build a vault door back on Mumbo's channel. Yeah, believe it or not, none of this was actually like blown up or anything. This is just what it broke and did as I tried to build it, and nothing ever ended up happening from that. Let's see. Oh, we should head over to Creepsville. My super smelter I built based off a couple different designs, and this thing is massively impressive. Yeah, then the next major project we took on, across the bridge here up to Creepsville, as we call it. It is simply meant to be a creeper farm. I had this thing loaded up entirely one time for about a month. Left it in easy mode. You know, every one of these cells here were filled. Looks like some of them are open. Oh, they're all open again. Somebody was trying to refill it. Come down here, you can see the inner workings. Come through, drop them down. On this side, you come through and drop them down. And then they fall into a chamber over there that you're supposed to put mobs. Let's see if I can get to it. Or was it just out the back? That's right, you just put mobs that you wanted the head for down here in this little chamber and blew them up. That was the idea. We never actually got any charge creepers out of this. See if I can make it there with a couple rockets. So, my little brother is famous for building houses and then going exploring and getting lost. And one of those escapades was over here. He decided one day that he wanted to leave. And so I took off and built this railway. And it goes off, and he built this little restarter base, basically, down this railway. I'm not going to have enough rockets to get there. That goes on for about 1,000 blocks. A little village to steal villagers from every once in a while. I don't know if there's any there anymore. Stepbrother, basically, for lack of a better term, hopped in, stole a bunch of my items, built a house. Yeah, the usual. Let's see. I think one of the other more popular areas, my cousin hopped on, tried to build a house in the middle of the lake. Some later end game projects I started working on was this mansion. Never finished it. This is back before woodland mansions were a thing. And I thought this would be really cool and never could figure out what to do with the upper half. So ended up just leaving that alone. Little brother's house on the hill up there. Nothing too special. One of my houses I built. He calls that the cat tree. One of the earliest projects that I took on, starting with stone pickaxes in this world, was this project over here. Known simply as the Big Hole, because it is 51 blocks by 51 blocks dug down to bedrock. And I discovered once I got part of the way down there it was a slime farm. So I built up all these platforms, a couple of cactus killing mechanisms in the center, and then item elevator up. And in the process of moving all these items from way down there, I mean that elevator goes down to bedrock. In the process of moving items from down there up to here, lost them along the way, but these chests were full. Let's see here. You can see there's a lot of cosmetic builds that never actually went anywhere, like the clamshell. Or this was supposed to be a flower farm, but I don't think I ever got this working. Yeah, some redstone still running down here. I should stop that. Is that what's been causing my lag? No, that little clock is not going to cause that much lag at all. Maybe hundreds of those will. The one next to it here is another expansion of the hole. I didn't really have an excuse, but just wanted to mine some more, so kind of right next to it. So starting off, so with all the resources made from the big hole there, we come over here, past the ugly as hell mushroom hut. I don't know, somebody decided to try to build that and it's ugly, and I just haven't torn it down because I think that's part of our history on this world. So from the resources of that big hole, you end up with things like this, as known as the Cacaseum. Now I don't know if you're prepared to see what's in here, but it looks like just a big cobblestone and grass cake, which hence the Cacaseum, Colosseum cake. But if you actually look inside of here, I took a lot of work on this and did a lot of work. I believe the bottom circle is a 100 block radius. I believe these go in by 10 up to the top. had the idea of the power beam kind of thing from Mumbo. Again, I watch a lot of the Hermitcraft, so that's where that came from. Yeah, not too much special in here. It was a process because it was a hilled landscape. You can see, well, you can't see anymore, but there used to be a hill up there that almost went up to that top layer that I had to carve down. I say a lot. Moving on from that, one of my little brother's projects decided to try to rebuild Nacht der Untoten from Black Ops 1. I think he did it, but I think he did it backwards, so it's not quite the same. How do you get into this place? I don't remember. There we go. Yeah, he did it backwards. Because this would be where the mystery box is and all that, and then the stairs up. Yeah. With a little bit of imagination, you can see where it was supposed to go. A couple of my favorite projects in this world, aside from the big hole and the mansion and a couple other ones. This was, we'll talk about these things back here first. They're a little less interesting. I wanted to almost build up a community around this place. So like you look off in the distance and you see houses up here, and you could see them from, you know, hundreds of blocks away. You can see them from up there. You can see them from pretty much everywhere, and it's a bit of a pain to get to. But again, the entire idea of these were to be purely cosmetic. But this is when my little brother started to join the world and decided he wanted to actually take these builds, these kind of disc builds that I had made, connect them up, and actually make them livable. So he actually lived up here. I don't know if he still does. Yeah, some of his items. He took over this place up here as his actual house and finished it off, made it all look nice. I think the emergency bed chute. That's about it up here. I think there was a secret spot behind this wall. Somewhere here there's a secret spot. Yeah, secret spot behind the wall that my buddy Tim, whoops, said his name. My buddy hopped online and parkoured his way around the outside there and dug an entrance right in there and built a closet behind his wall without him noticing. It's pretty entertaining. Put those wrong. And my little brother put his bed on the floor below me, and so what he used to do was he'd have the emergency bed chute. So like I'd be off in the distance, I'd sleep, he'd see that, and he'd be doing something up here, and he'd run over here and hit the emergency bed chute, and it would drop him directly on top of his bed out here. So it was pretty funny. Now, we're going to take a little bit of a journey, which I probably could do from up there easier. Let's see if I can do this. Fly past, get a nice aerial view. Yeah, you can see this goes all the way up. There's grass all around. So if you follow this minecart track away from the city, there is a couple builds out here. You attempted an iron farm. I suck at working with villagers. Oh, that's right, that's what happened to all my villagers. They're crammed into here. And now with entity cramming, it's a little more difficult. So, I don't think this thing ever worked. I had started a flattening project, which does not look like I got very far with. And there used to be a mob farm. I think this would still work if you went down there. I bet you it would. There's actually mob spawner down there. There's bones. The idea was the XP would come around here, and you'd like build it up behind the door and wait. And then as it built up around the door, you could open it up and get all your XP to mend. Because mending in the consoles, I don't like the mending system. But I think what ended up happening to that was after an update, for some reason, my mob spawners themselves, which few people might actually remember that bug, the mob spawners themselves turned to pig spawners and stopped working. And then after that, being that it was in a stronghold where the spawners actually were, way down at the bottom of the staircase here, the spawners themselves are off to this side here. This is a spawner. But you can see it's cave spawner. Or cave spider spawner. Being that it was part of the stronghold. So they both turned to cave spider spawners, and I never did anything with them just because I didn't figure I needed to use their XP anymore. I probably should do that again, but we'll see here in a little bit. Nothing too special on. You just come down these stairs a little farther, up onto here. Bit of a process. Jump up here, and that's the end portal. There's not a lot to see in there. I don't think there's anything other than a small Enderman collection thing. Yeah, nobody ever did anything in there. I wanted to. That's actually a project I might start in the future. If anybody wants to, like, follow a project like that, just let me know. That'd be really cool to go take part in. Let's see, continuing on. Wow. There's one place where I would love to go visit. Maybe it would have been faster to go back to the end. One place I'd love to visit that we cannot get to via Overworld. We have to go through the Nether to travel there. Well, we don't have to. It's just easier, and I'm lazy, so we're going to. Because it's still a couple hundred block travel. Last rocket. See a beautiful aerial view of all the lights. All the glory this town has been through. Little wood shack, rib cage, water clearing project I was actually in the middle of before deciding to do this. Ah, course plants. Right into the end of the another portal. Sweet. Place is dangerous. Alright. So we follow this precarious bridge. It's not exactly the most comforting thing to run across when you're playing in easy mode where you got gas shooting at you and everything. You can see the bridge has been blown out multiple times. I had ran out of cobblestone because back when I built this bridge was right around the time I built the Cacaseum. We're just gonna... Yeah, we're gonna be here a while. That marks the almost there is that overhead pass that was not there originally. I do not know what kind of terrain bug caused that, but that was not there back when I built this bridge, and it just kind of appeared one day. Maybe somebody built it on the server. Up into the portal. And we come out in my favorite spot of this entire world. The Guardian Farm. Ah, this place is beautiful. I don't know why there's blocks down there. I spent so long clearing this out and just mining away at all, or clearing out all the water. I got 2 full beacons down here. As I said, duplication glitches were prominent back in the day. There's a somewhat functioning mob farm here. You can see it actually did produce some. Some of them tend to not die on the fall though, so I might have to lower that a bit. Come down here, and this is the Guardian Collection Facility. Normally you can see a bunch of Guardians flopping around, and they fall through here into lava. Hoppers here pick them up, and the hoppers send them off into the storage system that I passed earlier across the base over there. Up a little elevator and up there. Some shulker storage just for miscellaneous items that I probably should go through, like these shovels. They're amazing, and I always seem to run out of shovels, even though I have a bunch there. So this entire place, lots of blue glass. Lots and lots of blue glass everywhere. Up the walls, and here on the base up on top. Beginnings of a project that never happened. I was going to try to see if I could clear a chasm across the river and lost interest because I knew how big of a project this was to clear out. I ended up setting up machines and spending many, many a hour just sitting AFK at those machines, placing sand. Come up and around, there is a bit of a backside to get to some of the redstone. Crashing on the ground. Get to some of the redstone for the storage system and whatnot. The elevator and everything. I think that all still works. So, yeah, you can see out there, out in the distance, all the water and its glory, which is going to change soon. I'm glad I put up all this glass. I built a glass tunnel up to the top, which is very disorienting to walk up, and very disorienting to build, because I was not sure if I was actually building it correctly. We come up to the top, and we get to my favorite patron of the server, or world. We have Dr. Lakewack, who has not despawned because he hopped in that boat one day and has never left. So I trapped him here, and there he sits. There is one island I've visited. I think it's that one. And I wanted to get mobs to stop spawning there. Or passive mobs, anyways, to stop spawning. So I covered it in stuff that was not grass. So I think it's green concrete powder and green concrete. I think. Yeah. Concrete and concrete powder. Up and around here. Looks like a creeper blew it up. And you still get some passive mobs, but not as many. Little area over there that captures things that just kind of spawn naturally. Now this area is the most depressing to look at. This is where we collected all of the sand to fill in the area for the Guardian farm. That entire huge hole down there. All the sand from up here. I mean, it got to the point where we had to go to a different biome, desert, to get all the sand. I mean, we had completely torn this place apart. Looks like we missed a little bit, but can't be too picky now. Let's see here. Yeah, we had stored up so much sand, and the machines, or the redstone we had built, I want to say these don't have anything in them. Yeah, nothing but just a few supplies that some people had died with on the island here while working, because mobs are very dangerous. So, yeah, that is pretty much the extent of my world. It is a survival, completely survival. I do not know if I mentioned that. Completely survival. We spent, I mean, this project alone took me a month just to find the time to actually sit down and AFK and actually, lovely way to end it off, but to actually clear out this area. But I think it turned out great. I love the way this Guardian farm took shape, and just the little pieces that came together. I mean, this design, I had spent hours trying to figure out what I was going to do with the walls, and I made this other design around here. I think I have pictures of it. I might be able to kind of leave in the comments later of what I had this place looking like originally. It was uglier than hell. I mean, just straight up. And I went to a creative mode world and just said, alright, I need to make a design. What do I want to do? And I came up with this kind of module and said, well, how would that look repeated? Built a couple of them in a row and went, yep, I'm doing that. And this Guardian farm was a lot of fun to build, all these pillars. And it sounds like, I'm really hoping with this aquatic update that they do not mess with my signs. Because if they mess with water coming through my signs, I'm going to be pissed. Because that took way too long and way too many resources to do. But they spawn up there, naturally get pushed down by the current, hit the water, and they go into the middle. I can actually show a demonstration just because I think it's kind of funny to watch. I don't have any food. I should go grab some food first before I switch around so I don't forget later. Let's make sure there's some over here. Torches galore. That's lovely. Dirt. Prismarine. Food. Food. Eat some rotten flesh. Ah, here we go. Raw mutton. Well, that's lovely. We'll let that cook, I guess. So yeah, where's my chest? I'm gonna stick my sponges in there so I don't forget. I should have food in here, maybe? No, it does not appear so. Okay, well. Sorry, I'm third. Alright. Come down here. And we're gonna watch. Stand actually here. I think it'd be pretty interesting to stand. And switch this into. Oh yeah, do not have host options on. I personally think that ruins the fun of some of these projects if you put it into host options and fly around and do all that. It's just like, it's not survival at that point. If you're gonna play survival, play some vanilla survival. So let's see this place kick into action. It's been a little while since I've seen it running. Looks like I'm going down the ladder. But you can see, yep, there, started already. Whole load of them. That is a lot of guardians. Holy crap! I don't remember that many spawning. Maybe because they're the first thing to actually spawn in. God, they're loud. So they come into here and they eventually climb up down into the lava. As they continue to jump back up, they hit the lava, so I don't have to worry about any automatic killing mechanisms or anything. And as they die, their items come through here. You can kind of use this as a XP thing, but you're going to take a lot of damage. So you flip down the lever, come up in here. You're going to take a lot of damage in this process. They don't come as quickly, I don't think, when you do this either. It's kind of funny. Yeah, see. So, out. Now this place is running. You can see all the guardians there. I believe the storage system should still be working. I should probably go check. Hi. How's it going? Good, you died. Some XP? Thank you. Some gunpowder too. I like gunpowder. I hope you dropped some. You did. Yeah, you can make some more rockets. Oh, droppers seem to be going. They're not the quietest things in the world, but I think everything runs through them. Maybe not. Where's everything getting stuck? I don't know if these items are getting stuck. What's going on with them? Let's see here. What? I didn't grab... Oh, I didn't grab button. We're gonna do a bit of on-stream trying to figure out... Ah, hi! Yeah, I definitely gotta increase that fall distance. I do not seem to like falling down that and dying. Let's do some on-stream camera work of figuring out what is happening to my items. Comes down here, simple dropper vader. Let's just skip up them that just skip up them that fast. Seems to be cycling through. Is it getting stuck anywhere? I can't see anywhere. I can't see anywhere they're getting stuck, so they must actually be working. I don't have a block to replace over this hole. Let's do this trick. Oh, I had stone. Oops. What's I doing? Alright. Sounds like there's zombies around. But yeah, you can see the Guardians just keep pouring in. Keep on pouring in. There's a spider up here. Lovely. And a zombie. Sounds like we got a interesting mob fest going on. Come on, buddies, climb right up. There you go. No! Not away from me. He's like, I must go, my people need me. And then... I must go, my people need me. And then he just lets go. See, he died. You didn't, though. Come on down, spider butt. I don't want to be around here if a creeper decides that it doesn't want to go. I'd rather just leave flaming arrows everywhere. Yep, so I think that pretty well concludes the whole world tour thing. I was just feeling like I didn't really want to play any zombies at the moment, just kind of chilling out. I did finish the project that I was talking about yesterday that I did not stream for, or that I did not stream because of. So if anybody would like to check out that, the Nerf project I was working on, yeah, let me know. I think a good place to finish off be here at Crop Farm. Looks like we're about a half hour, so I think I'm going to cut it off there. Thank you for tuning in. If you're tuning in at a later date, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're, deciding to take interest now. Thank you.